Thank you again for watching this video, and you're tuned into something that's probably going to surprise you in regards to leadership. What I'm about to tell you, you probably never heard anywhere else in your entire life. And I have to take you back to the last two videos. The last two videos, one of them, I want to make sure that I tell you about my leadership journey in the Marine Corps and beyond. First in the Marine Corps started in 1991. I took you from 1991 to around about 1994. Then I took you from 1994 to around about 1998-ish, I believe. Now I'm going to take you from 1999 throughout my time as a Marine Corps recruiter. Reason why I say this is I went to recruiter school in San Diego, California in 2000, in August of 2000. But there are some things that happened along the way prior to. If you remember my last video, I was telling you about retired, God rest his soul, Master Gunnery Sergeant Byron Gale, who told me to go to Serve Mark, get a planner, get that, and this is your plan, and this is your actual, and this is how you schedule and you plan out everything. Not knowing that that would stick with me to this day. That was 1996 when he said that. It's 2024 right now. And I never forgot those moments. So a lot of the things that I do, I apply what I learned on Marine Corps recruiting duty. So before I went to the Marine Corps recruiting duty, there is a process. There's a process that you have to go through. And you have to meet those requirements before actually going to recruiter school. So I met those requirements, went to recruiter school, and it was a challenge. Shout out to now retired Master Gunnery Sergeant Ray Gagnon. Remember this is not me, this is him. Learn the basics, master the basics, always strive to perfect the basics. The basics, the basics, the basics. I got to give credit where credit is due because that stuck with me for 24 years. Have the basics and then you build upon the basics. So I went through around about 7 weeks, 8 weeks. I don't even know how long. It was fast paced. A lot of speeches. There was a lot of material that was thrown at us. And I believe I finished number 3 in the class, one of the honor graduates. I believe I did. I'm pretty sure I did. But it wasn't about that. I could have finished that way, but then go on recruiting duty and fail. And fail. That was a school environment where everybody eventually said yes. And those were group advisors. Those were staff NCOICs. Those were trainers. Those were instructors. Eventually, they will say yes. But on Marine Corps recruiting duty, you face indifference. You face a lot of challenges. Not knowing that when I was coming in, that area I went to Monroe, North Carolina. Monroe, North Carolina, RSS Rockhill. At the time, it was a permanent contact station. Then it was RSS Rockhill Recruiting Substation. But during that time, I found out that that area wasn't worked for 5 years. 5 years. The recruiter would have to drive from Charlotte, 74 corridor, have to drive from Charlotte and come down to Monroe, North Carolina, which is around about 45 minutes, maybe 35, 45 minutes. But that was just once a week. So I said to myself, how can I take me, put myself in this situation and lead others in the Marine Corps, knowing that I had to go through the process of signing them up. But before signing them up, we have to reach out to them. We have to reach out to them, and there were schools that we had. So I said to myself, I want to make sure that I set the best example that I could set. And I think I was about 23 at the time or something like that. I believe I was 23, maybe 24 years old or years young. Then I came through and I started recruiting. A lot of no's, a lot of, like my business I have right now, a lot of people will say no, but we don't stop. We don't stop. So I said, I have to be a leader. I have to be a leader that separates myself from other branches. No disrespect for the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, Coast Guard. I'm a Marine. I'm a Marine. I'm proud of that. I want to make sure that I set myself apart. And this is what I did. When I went out to the schools, I made sure that my uniform was squared away because I knew that people were going to watch. They're going to make an opinion upon the Marine Corps based upon how I look. Even before I say something, they're going to take a look and see how I look. So I wanted to make sure that I represent the Marine Corps the best way that I knew how, applying the leadership skills that I learned up until that point and take it out there. But here is a key. And when I said this on day one, whenever someone joins the delayed entry program, they're my family. They're my family. I learned that before recruiting duty. They're my family. I'm going to give them everything that I had, everything that they had, everything that I had. And I did that. And I signed up. I wasn't an award winner, but I had a successful tour, 36 one-month tours. I had a successful tour because I was consistent, doing it over and over and over again. You have a high school list, you have a community college list, you have area canvassing, you have all of that. You have all of that, and you have to go with the tools that were given to you. And we had what we called a scheduling and results book. So I said, let me take this and let me go out there and do what I got to do to enlist people into the Marine Corps, the tip of the spear, the tip of the spear. The 1% of the 1% that ever walked the face of this earth could ever call themselves the United States Marines. So I knew that I had to do that. But during that time, there was 9/11. I remember exactly what happened. I was over in Sun Valley High School showing the information, the benefit tags to a Michael Tompkins. And Michael Tompkins, if you haven't watched this video, I'm going to find Michael Tompkins. I showed him, but he never joined the Marine Corps, but I think he went to the Naval Academy. But I want to give him everything that I had. So when I walked outside in the office, I walked outside in the hallway, somebody came to me and said, Sergeant Hay, and I was a sergeant at the time. Sergeant Hay, you heard of what happened to the Twin Towers? Now, if you know me, I'm a basketball guy. I love basketball. Twin Towers, immediately during that time, I'm thinking Tim Duncan and David Robinson. In my mind, I said, no, I haven't. So I walked over to the NJRTC room, God rest his soul, Master Sergeant Henry Baker. I walked there. As soon as I walked in, I saw the kids. And they were crying. And they weren't, now think about it, they weren't too much younger than me. 18, I was 23, I was 24 years old. And I went and I saw the television. When I saw the television, I saw what happened. It seemed like it was something that was off of a movie. And I said, I need to make sure that I stay strong because I know they're going to look at me and ask me, what are y'all going to do? What's going to be the Marine Corps' next move? Because I knew eventually something was going to happen. Didn't know what it was going to happen. But I found myself going back to the office. As I drove back to the office, I started thinking about me being the best leader because I know people are going to ask, what am I going to do? And then there were some of my police. They came in and we sat down and we talked. And I wasn't recruiting anyway. I wasn't on the telephone. I was just there for my people because that's my family. And then there were some old timers, like myself now. There were some old timers that couldn't serve, but just wanted to serve in some type of capacity. That's the nature of a Marine. That's the nature of a leader. That's the nature of someone that wants people to succeed. They just want to be a part of something great. And then I finished out my tour. And as I finished out my tour, I was what we call a section leader. I was a canvassing recruiter just by myself. And then I had my own team at the end. All of those things were learning experiences. So as I learned what I learned in the Marine Corps, I said I have to make sure I take that out for recruiting duty and apply that for the rest of my life, not knowing where I was going to go in my life. But the crazy thing that happened, some of those people, some of those ones, quite a few that I recruited that went into the Marine Corps, I still keep in contact, and we are the best of friends right now. Jesus Christ filled, God, Yah filled, positive people, because I believe in bringing positive people in the Marine Corps. And that's why we have a screening process. But I had to say to myself, I have to screen myself. I have to look at myself and say that am I going to do everything I can to exemplify the Marine Corps, to be an exemplary example of leadership. Leadership is something that's not, you can't buy it. You can't buy it. We can go to boot camp. We can go to Paris Island. We can go to San Diego in the Marine Corps. There's other branches of the military. We can go there, and that's the basics. But what are we going to do with the basics? As we get the training and as we meet these requirements, it's important to apply. So for those out there that want to be great leaders, or those out there that are already great leaders, I challenge you to take the next level. Apply what you know, knowing that it's something that's going to impact not just yourself, but impact others. How can we, because it's about we, how can we make a difference in this world? How can we change someone's life? How can we make an impact? And that's what leadership is all about. Impactful type of leadership, not leadership by manipulation, but leadership by inspiration. So I took you from 1991 to 2003 because I started recruiting duty in 2003. Now I'm going to take you, my next video, I am going to take you during my time in Iwakuni, Japan. From 2003 to 2006, there are some things, if those that know me know that I'm a coach. I coach basketball, but you probably didn't know I coach softball. I coach flag football. I coach football, soccer. I got corrected. I coach all these things. But it wasn't about me being a coach. It was about being coachable. Knowing that any team, you don't get to where you are by yourself. Positivity is the way. And I'm going to leave you with this, because we're in this season right now. We're in this season where we are in the know of what December 25th is. It's not what you think. And this is about the application of knowledge. Study the true reason, the meaning of December the 25th, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Also, study Hanukkah. It's what I celebrate, Hanukkah. I'm praying many abundant blessings for you, your family, your loved ones, everybody that you love in this world. Praying for the enemies as well, because that is going to happen. Just like the Marine Corps. Enemies, foreign and domestic. And we want to make sure that we bring our best to the table every single day. We're in the end of 2024. 9 days and a wake up. We're in 2025. And the next video, toward the end, I'm going to talk about some things that I feel that people should do at the end of this year to set themselves up for a greater 2025. It's all about momentum. So I know this was a leadership video, but I believe in this. It's the application of knowledge is the ultimate power. We apply, we learn more. So I'm throwing these books, and then I'm going to do book reviews in the future as well. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because a lot of people have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, the same person that we are right now, is different from an hour ago. It's different from a second ago. It's different from 5 years ago. It's different from 10 years ago, 15 years. We're different people. And when you're in Christ, you're a new creature. And I thank God Almighty, Yahweh, Elohim, Jehovah Rapha, Jehovah Jireh, who provides, King Yeshua, for leading me the right way. God bless you. God keep you. To God be all the glory.